Hi guys, I am back. Yesterday when I was recording, I got y'all set up. So honey, we about to have a little conversation, y'all. Since I ain't doing nothing anyway. But yesterday when I was talking to y'all, one of my friends called to check up on me, and I was chit chatting with her for a little bit. So and after that, one of my other friends that came over, she helped me unpack my bags from Miami, and my just whole hospital stay, my whole time being in Miami for surgery recovery. She helped me get my clothes clean, washed, put them away, just washed me up. I put my Spanx on, put my faja on. Shout out to her. Shout out to everybody that helped me, y'all. When I tell y'all, make sure, I'm trying to put into words, the help that you need is just unmatched. Like, when I say you literally, like, if you're like myself, who's constantly on the go, the help that you're going to need is going to be mind-boggling, because you're so used to being on the go that this surgery is going to sit you down, so you can't do nothing at all. So you're going to be completely dependent on people. So just try to be prepared for that, because there's nothing to prepare you for the amount of help, the amount of dependency that you're going to need when it comes to this surgery. So shout out to everybody that's helping me. Shout out to my team. I love y'all and I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. There's no words to ever describe, and I'm trying not to get emotional, y'all, but there's no words to describe how grateful I am for the people that has been helping me, for my family, for my friends, for those who have been helping me on my side. Like, it's a blessing to have that help, and I just thank God. But yeah, so I talked to two people yesterday, caught them up on everything. And then my friend came over yesterday, she helped me get clean. So to pick up on where I left off yesterday when I was talking to y'all, I was basically saying how I was moved because it was going to admit me as an inpatient. So I was moved from one room to another, because of course when you're trying to make room to ED and there are other beds in the hospital, you just move people along until you get them a room. And I was okay with that because everybody was nice and the space was clean, so it was cool. I was cool. So once I got to my room, it was a shared room, and I had a roommate, so I was near the window. And I don't know if I told y'all this, but I was in the window, and it was 2 people rooms. And this particular hospital, their private rooms were more like for sick ICU burn trauma patients, which I guess because of the hospitals, y'all know me being a nurse and me traveling around, I'm so used to having single patient rooms that the double patient rooms just kind of threw me for a loop. But like I said, she was cool, you know. She wasn't feeling good either, so it wasn't no kiki chit chat. I mean, we talked. She was from Venezuela, so she didn't speak no English at all, minimal English. So we didn't really have a conversation, but you know, we spoke because we was in the same room, sharing the same bathroom, which the bathroom was very clean. And I just made sure every time when I was finally able to go to the bathroom, I just made sure that I wiped everything down. But anyway, so let's continue. So so when I got to the room, the surgery team came up and they basically was telling me that I'm gonna be NPO, which is nothing in my mouth, for the next for the next couple of days until whatever the blockage resolved, because I told y'all that they was trying to rule out an ileus versus a small bowel obstruction, but because I've never had any previous surgeries, we couldn't say it was a small bowel obstruction, so of course it was an ileus. And you can look it up to what an ileus is, but basically for my body and pertaining to myself, because everybody is different, let's keep that in mind, but pertaining to my body, what happened was, because I was under anesthesia for so long, and you know, anesthesia live and it sits in the fat and everything, my body, my organs, my intestines, my bowels, it just took way longer to start back functioning, and that's normal. But in my case, it made me miserable. I mean, your bowels can wake up slowly, and you can still drink a little bit, sip a little bit, because it's not expected for you to eat a whole meal or 3 big meals right after surgery. So it's expected for you to eat minimal. But not to not have nothing at all. So like I said, my surgery was July the 7th. I got discharged early July 8th. And from July 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, I couldn't eat nothing at all. Even in the hospital, I had maybe something small. I bit, like the hospital food they had, I would bite it, put it away. But it's not normal to not tolerate nothing at all. So, side note, if you get any type of surgery, especially it's my makeover, and you are having a difficulty time with passing gas, peeing, not necessarily saying having a bowel movement because you haven't really eaten anything to have a bowel movement. But let's say it has been like 4 days that has passed, and you have had small meals, and you have the gas pain that won't pass, or you haven't had a bowel movement, even a small one, or you have not eaten or drank and can't tolerate it, please go get checked out. Please. Please get checked out. That's all I have to say. So yeah, so boom, admitted to the hospital that Thursday night leading to that Friday morning. So Friday, Saturday, I was at Jackson Memorial Hospital inpatient, and I stayed there for 2 full days. As an inpatient, I had strictly fluids only. So I was on D5 with LRs, basically, because I wasn't eating anything, bowel rest. And that Saturday evening, the doctor ordered me this regimen. So he gave me a suppository, which me and my friend Cassandra put it in, and within an hour, it worked. So when I tell y'all, the gas that I let out was unmatched. I ain't never felt so good to have a bowel movement and a past gas. My past gas, if y'all remember, just think about, I'm gonna try to insert it so y'all can know what I'm talking about. But if you pop a balloon in the air, just, that's how my stomach felt. I lie to y'all not. The minute I was able to pass gas, the gas had let out. I was passing gas for like a whole minute straight. I lie to y'all not. A whole minute straight. Oh, excuse my hair, y'all. This is the raw and the uncut, baby. This is what you gonna get. This is the real. We ain't finna be on no camera trying to be cute, and we on 11 days post-op, a major surgery. So, yes, y'all. When I finally was able to pass gas, it was like it took the gas was a minute long, and I felt so good. Oh, and then that was like 30 minutes until having a suppository, and then an hour later, cause she gave it to me like at 4:30. I want to say like at 5:30. Now before I had got clean, because you can't take a shower. My daughter wanted me to take a shower, but side note, my friend Cassandra was like, for you not to have no shower, you smell good, like you don't stink. Thank you, cause my clean, I don't never had no issues, bookie butt. But yeah, that's a very good compliment, because you can't. For those of you who have showered, or my doctor was like, hell no, you're not, And I didn't want to anyway, because I was just because I haven't eaten and drank, and I was so unsteady and dizzy on my feet. Any little movement exhausted me. Like this is a long recovery, like a long journey, and I don't want to exhaust myself. So instead of having a shower on me, I would still use soap and water and wash up. It wasn't a bird bath, because I would literally scrub this kuka and my butt and my arms and everything else. I just never touched any surgical lines, which y'all can see. I still have my I don't know what marker my doctor used, but I have tried to scrub this marker off of me, baby, and it would not come up. But yeah, so once, right before I was about to get a wash up, I was like, oh, I just felt it, y'all, and I had to immediately go to the bathroom. And when I say I released, it felt so good, and it was a large one. And then after that night, I had another one. I had 2 more, and then that next day I had like 2 more. So my hospital stay had maybe 4 bowel movements, 3 of them being small, 1 of them being large. So that was good. So the attendant had came around that Sunday morning, y'all. Let me tell y'all how I'm the chosen one from God, one of God's favorites. So the attendant had came around. So my attendant, the surgical team, was also my roomie's surgical attendant as well. So he came over to me. He was talking. The team it was like 4 of them in there, and they were talking. And he was like, everything looks good, because I had another abdominal x-ray. I had 3 abdominal x-rays throughout the whole stay, because I had one in the ED. I had one, I want to say, Saturday morning, and then I had one Sunday morning. So those 3 x-rays were major improvements, because I had passed the gas, my body was waking up more, so we back on the go. So the attendant had came in, and he was like, yeah, you're looking good. You had a bowel movement, you're passing gas. How are you feeling? I said, I'm not nauseous. I am passing gas. But I'm having a bowel movement. Like, I feel so amazing. And everybody kept saying, you look so good compared to when you came in. Even one of the residents was like, yeah, you look like 100% better. Because I felt that way. Like, I was talking. Y'all know me, I talks. I was talking, I was laughing, I was great. I was my normal self. And I remember saying, Lord, if I can just pass this gas and not be nauseous, because that's what's making me miserable. And that's what made me miserable. Like, even now, I can say I haven't really had no pain. Like, my only pain is my back pain and my abdominal reeked, because when I was trying to throw up and stuff like that. Other than that, I thank God I don't have no pain. I do, my back, and then when my drains on my left side, painful. But other than that, it's not like pain from my stomach. I mean, when I swell, I feel pressure, but I just knew it would subside, and I could handle that type of discomfort is what we're going to call it, not pain, discomfort. But I could handle that discomfort compared to being nauseous 24/7, throwing up nothing 24/7, and having to have a bowel movement. You can't do nothing. So I felt 100% better. So anyway, so the attendant was like, well, we're going to give you, so the resident was like, so should we do her like a clear liquid diet? I said, yes, please, can I have something to drink? The attendant was like, no, we're going to advance her to a regular diet, because everybody's body is different. She may can take solids over liquids over solids. One thing I like about the doctor, he was like, no, regular diet is, if she tolerate all her food by lunchtime, she can go home. And then he was like, where you from? So I told him where I was from. And he was like, what part of that state? And I told him, and he was like, you worked at that hospital? He said, because I did. So I told him where I was from. And he said, really? Because I did my residency, my 5-year residency in that state. And I was like, yeah, I worked at this hospital. He was like, really? I was like, really? And I told him the unit, I told him the floor, and he was like, what? And he named 2 surgical attendants that worked in that hospital. And he was like, they were my boss. When I did my 5 years of residency, they was my boss. And I was like, so you were definitely there working. I probably was talking to you, because I literally have been a nurse since 2017, and it's within a 5-year threshold. Like, yeah, wow. So that was amazing how nursing is so small, but yet big. The fact that this the surgical attending, was my doctor that had to sign my paperwork, worked alongside with me at my hospital that I used to work at as a resident. And here I am, his patient. Y'all. So he was so when he left, I heard him say, my patient, like, she worked, like, my boss, she worked at the hospital I did my residency at. Like, she knows my bosses, my old bosses. And I was like, yo, that's amazing. That's amazing, y'all. So, side note, be kind. Because I could have been one of the nurses that was mean, rude. We could have got into it. But be kind. You just never know who you're going to run into. You just never know who you're going to need. So just be kind always. But anyway, so the nurse came in that morning, and I was like, hey, Sandy. And she was like, yeah, I heard you can have a regular diet. I was like, yes. She said, I'm waiting for to put an order in. I say, Sandy, girl, give me food because I'm anal times 4. I'm not delusional. I didn't come in with ultimate status. I didn't come in with confusion. And at this point, that's when I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to let them know that I'm a nurse. I know what's going on. Like, we ain't gonna do this. Because at this point, I get what patients mean. Like, I'm ready to go. Okay? I feel good. I'm ready to just go and recover from my own place. Okay? So, but yeah, so she had bought me some apple juice, some Jell-O, and a turkey sandwich. Ugh. Only thing that was good was apple juice. So I ate, so, which I can show y'all. The turkey sandwich, I could post all that right here. As you can see, the turkey sandwich, I had like folded it in half and I ate it like that. And I had like 4 or 5 containers of apple juice. The pudding was, I'm not really a Jell-O fan, but I tolerated everything. I wasn't nauseous. And then of course when lunchtime came, it wasn't good at all. So my friend Cassandra had came, and we was talking, and then she had went to this place that kind of reminded me of Panera Bread that's connected to the hospital, and I had got some chicken noodle soup, and their chicken noodle soup was literally homemade. It was not salty at all. It actually didn't have no real flavor. It was just like noodles, chicken, carrots, celery, with a little bit of splash of water with a little bit of a tap of seasoning, because it wasn't like, ooh, you know how like chicken noodle soup can get. It's very flavorful, and it's like sometimes it can be a little salty. Baby, that soup was nowhere near. Okay, so don't come for me saying, soup is salty. Trust me, I know, but it was nowhere near salty. And after that, I was able to tolerate that, and once we did all that, I wasn't nauseous. I had another bowel movement, got clean. They put my discharge. The resident had came back up to make sure I did eat, so she could put something down. I have another bowel movement, and then my discharge papers came in like at 3:30, 4 o'clock, and I was out there by 5:30. So, yeah, that was why I got admitted to the hospital. Y'all had an ileus. So let's back it up some. So when the attendant came around, he did tell me that I had ileus, and it was mainly due to me being under anesthesia. My intestines, and slowly waking up, slowly moving, it created that blockage because my intestines was not moving. So with the bowel rest and with the fluid, because of course fluid helped moist everything. So I was dry. So when everything dry, as y'all know, nothing moves. So me getting the hydration I needed, maybe if I would take some type of fluid, it would have been a lot better, and I would have never had to get admitted. But I could not eat. I could not, forget eating. I could not drink at all. Not a Gatorade, not electrolyte at all. So the fact that I had like 2 days of fluid, 2 full days of fluid around the clock, my body was back at hydration status, and everything started moving. So shout out to Dr. Bruto. He definitely visited me every single day when I was at the hospital. He called me, checked up on me every single day. Matter of fact, today is Friday, July 18th. I just talked to that man yesterday because I texted him about one of my drains, and he responds effectively, communicates effectively, like hands down 10 out of 10. I highly recommend Dr. Mark Bruto. So go ahead over to Instagram and go ahead and type in Mark Bruto and go ahead and shout him out. And go ahead, if you're looking for any type of surgery, send him a DM on his Instagram, and they will get back in contact with you in a very swiftly manner. And yeah, he's a shit. Him and his team. And shout out to Angie. Love them all. So yes, y'all, that consists of my days 1 through 6, because official post-op day, because you don't count the day you had surgery. Post-op officially starts the next day. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So that consists of my post-op days 1 through 6. I have no regrets still. So once I got back to the hotel, Cassandra took very good care of me. I was pooping. Oh, y'all, and then when I got back to the hotel Sunday, I'm sitting there, girl, hair flying everywhere. I'm sitting there, in a chair, get myself clean. And I looked down and I noticed blood. And I was like, oh my God, I hope my incision is okay. And Cassandra was like, I don't know, because I don't know. And I'm like, I don't know either. Y'all, why? Mind you, my cycle had just left the week and a half prior. Why all the commotion and the body is traumatized? Started my cycle back on. I was like, I know you lying. Yes, y'all. Yes. So the rest of my time in Miami, Miami, my recovery, Mother Nature was on. What's the Mother Nature? I have no idea, because I ain't never had a cycle to come a week and a half later after you just left. What are we doing? So, but I knew something was wrong because I was emotional. I was swollen and my back hurt so bad, and I was a little nauseous, which, it's hard to say what it was because I just had surgery. So yeah, y'all, Mother Nature, something creeped up back on me, y'all, but thank God for Cassandra. Thank God for the doctor team and stuff like that. So that Sunday I got discharged. That Monday, Tuesday, I think I seen my doctor that Monday. I went to see my doctor that Monday. And then that Tuesday, because Wednesday we left. So I see my doctor. Or did Monday we relax? I think Monday we relaxed, if I'm not mistaken. And then Tuesday, Angie, she wanted to see me. And she was like, look, just come and see me before you leave. And I said, okay. So at this point, y'all, so let's talk about a faja. So my doctor does put you in a faja before you go home because it does provide the max compression. However, your favorite thick stallion over here, my body parts are different. They never had nobody with all this ass, hips, and thighs. So a standard faja for me did not work. So Cassandra and I were running around for a couple of days throughout this whole process as well, trying to get a faja. So, which shout out to Angie again, because she made it her business to call around for custom fajas. So one place we did go to, I think it's called Pretty Girl Curves. They can do customized as far as taking a standard faja and then customizing it to your waist. So basically what they would do is give me the biggest faja and put it on me because my waist is of course way smaller, and they would tailor my waist. So they would tailor it to make my waist more stitched compared to my hips, my thighs, my butt. But they didn't have the size that I needed to even do that. So that Tuesday when I went to go see Angie, she called another faja place and they went up to an 8X. So me and Cassandra went over there, and we went over there, and I was able to find a faja. It was miserable because it was the first time the packer had been open, and then it took a whole hour and a half to get on. And then shout out to Sarah because she recommended some Spanx, so we put some Spanx on, and it was so easy to get up. So boom, paid for it. Went back to the doctor's office. She did my incisions, my drains. We faced out my doctor and put my faja on, my garment on, and my doctor, because I have a gapping in the back because I can't fit a regular standard faja. So I'm gonna order my official faja from my Tributo, which when I contact my Tributo, they informed me that they recommend you start measuring yourself and placing your order 14, at least close to the 14-day post-op mark. So Saturday or Sunday, I'm going to take more measurements because the Pretty Girl Curves, the seamstress, she did take my measurements, which y'all, hips, thighs is a 62. And when they did my waist, it was a 40, but I had my abdominal binder on and it was all bunched up and I'm super swollen. So I'm pretty sure my waist is maybe a 35, because if you take some inches off of that abdominal binder, including the swelling I'm having, and I was bent over, couldn't stand up straight. I'm pretty sure my waist is maybe a 35, and my hips and stuff, thighs, is a 62. And I don't think she did my breast, which they do the under your breast when it comes to my attributo. I believe that's what they do. So I'll be taking some more measurements, and I'll be sending it to, I'm gonna do a consultation with my attributo, probably Saturday or Sunday, so I can place the order Sunday, Monday, and then it takes a week. It takes 3 to 5 days. So within a week's timing, I should get my faja, because it takes 3 to 4 days to make it. Well, I think maybe 2 weeks, because it takes, I want to say up to 5 to 7 days to make it, because it's a custom one, and then it takes 3 to 5 business days to ship and for you to receive it. So I'll be standing this Spanx and this faja and this abdominal binder, which I can insert a picture here to show y'all how my faja look with my abdominal binder and stuff like that, and my drains and stuff like that. So yeah, back to Miami. So the doctor had cleared me to go, because the next day, Wednesday, was when we take off returning home. And y'all, I guess because I was wearing an abdominal binder for so long, because I couldn't find a faja, when I finally put the faja on and the Spanx, and it really compressed me, I was peeing nonstop, y'all. I was peeing every 30 minutes, like every 45 minutes, to the point when we finally went home, I peed on myself, because the hotel room from the entrance was like 3 miles. I lie to y'all not. So it took me so long. And then mind y'all, this is my first time having a faja Spanx where I got to stand to pee and try to figure out how to pee with a garment on. So I had my female urinal, which I highly recommend, and I'm gonna do another separate video to let y'all know exactly what y'all gonna need. As I'm coming from your favorite thick post-op nurse, and coming from a patient who has had a tummy tuck, and I'm gonna go in detail what y'all need and what has been so beneficial, and you just gonna have to invest the money to get it, because you're gonna need it. But keep it in mind that everybody's surgery is different. So let's just remember that. But anyway, so yeah, y'all, sure enough, by the time I was moving so slow, couldn't get there in time enough. And by the time I got my urinal and cut the light on, I just couldn't hold it. So I had to take everything off, had to hand wash my garments. And mind y'all, we supposed to have went to the UPS store to ship my wedge pillows off. So then we had went to this I forgot what it's like. It's called Latin America restaurant, and we had got this salad, 10 out of 10. It was a chicken Caesar salad, but the salad was made so differently that it was so good. So yeah, so boom, got that, and then so I got cleaned up, washed my garments, dried my Spanx, and I let my faja air dry, because you can dry your Spanx. Let my faja air dry, and then we went back out, and we went to the UPS store, dropped off my wedge pillows, and I just felt, that's when I really got emotional, because I'm just like, I haven't done this. I haven't done this in since I was like 3 years old. Like, what? Or maybe when I was pregnant, when I couldn't hold my bladder. But so it was the embarrassment. It was being overwhelmed. It was just being, I wanted to document this in the moment, but y'all, to pick up the phone and document it, I just couldn't do. So that's what I'm doing this right now. Like, nothing would prepare you for the mental and the physical, the emotional and the spiritual journey you're about to go on throughout this journey. No one else, like even y'all listening to me, because y'all journey is going to be different. You may have my journey is still amazing. Like, it's nothing bad, nothing wrong. But you think you can look at other people's journeys and say, okay, I'm going to try to prepare this way. No, you can't. Just let it happen. Just go through the motions. Just go through the highs and the lows, because that's what you're going to have, highs and lows. But you're going to always come out with highs. You're going to always come out a winner. It too shall pass. Just get through it. And I just kept telling myself, just get through it. Next week going to come. Then the next week going to come. And then the next week going to come. And you're going to be fine. So this is exactly what I did. So there's nothing to really prepare you mentally and emotionally for the surgery. Just go through it. And you're going to get through it. It's only temporary, baby. Because once the results truly come in and you really heal, whoo, it was all worth it. The physical, I think everybody's physical is different, but kind of relatable at the same time. So yeah. So we went to UPS store, and I just wanted some ice cream. So I did get some ice cream, but I couldn't eat it all. I had like 3 spoonfuls. Nothing major at all. Went back to the hotel room. We packed, ate the salad, went to sleep, woke up the next morning. Oh, and that night, I want to say, is I had some amazing sleep. And that next morning is when we left. We headed to the airport. Now, mind y'all, Miami Airport, I ain't gonna talk about it. If you know, you know. Baby, but shout out to the guy who helped me with getting my wheelchair, helped me go through the clear. And my flight home was not bad at all. My flight home, the flight was smooth. There was no delays. We kept getting notifications saying that there might be some delays because of the weather. But there were no delays, no cancellations, none of that. It was literally, we checked our stuff in. We took Southwest, got on the flight. The flight was smooth. It was 2 hours from Miami to the layover, and then from the layover to my state, it was 30 minutes. So both flights were 10 out of 10. So smooth. Even me getting on the flight, everybody was so helpful. My second flight, the captain, he was about to push me down, help me. He helped me carry my bags. Like, everybody, when everybody seen me, they was like, oh my God, I feel so sorry for her, because like, you walking slow, you can't really move. And everybody was just so helpful. So shout out to all the strangers that helped me, the captain from Southwest that helped me, the flight attendants from the flights that helped me. Like, thank y'all so much, because it's a team effort. So I thank God for surrounding me around the people I need to be surrounded with during this time of me being independent. So yeah, y'all. But yeah, that was cool. And then lift right back to my house was good. Got home. I felt so amazing. It felt so good to be home, y'all. Like, I cried when I came through the door, because I was like, first of all, I miss my family. That's the first thing. And then it just felt so good to be home. And I just knew I would be able to recover better in my household. So I was just so ecstatic, excited, just good emotions, because I was just ready to get home. Now, intermission, because I gotta use the bathroom. So I'll be right back, y'all. Y'all know it take me a little bit of time to get up. And by the time I get up, I be having to pee. So, as y'all can see, real quick, this is my faja. This is the strap to keep this open. These are my 4 drains. Excuse me. So yeah, I'll be back, y'all, to just finish up, close y'all out, because there's not much more for me to say. So I'm gonna just finish and I'll close y'all out, and I'll try to make weekly videos just to keep it updated now that I'm home and I'm situated.